people are concerned about with our climate change sessions, with the work you're doing with the students and food security stuff. It kind of all relates to grassland. Hey, that's where we get our foods, our traditional plants.
The Grassland project, it ties into a few projects, but we're looking at, well, protecting and restoring the remaining tracts of grasslands on the blood reserve.
When you start looking at where the grasslands start in the southwest part of the reserve, this is where they start. This particular area is really not healthy. And so what's happening, all of this is starting moving to the grasslands area. So we have to stop it. I need to do it because I live out here. You know, this land needs to heal. Like a lot of people, you can't start anything until you heal.
I think people don't understand when you disturb something that it's going to take, decades even to come back.
Make sure this land's healthy and here for our people for a long, long time.
So our native grasslands here in Southern Alberta, we have very fertile soil. I think it's dark brown Chernozemic soil is a soil zone that we occupy here. A lot of settlers came and wanted to cultivate the land and till the land. So they wanted to take out the native grassland and just replant it with horticultural species. So just to profit off of it, right? Well, we got rid of so much of our native grassland without thinking about it. Like we just had dollar signs in our eyes and not thinking about the long-term effects that could have on us. And so now like a majority of our native grasslands are now gone. And those native species that rely on the native grasslands for habitat and food, they can't survive in cultivated land. Like you won't see like burrowing owls, prairie rattlesnakes, sharp-tailed grouse, all of our at-risk grouse species and a lot of our at-risk bird species. Yeah, basically all of our prairie species can't survive in cultivated land, so they need that native grassland and they need large plots of it. And so there's not really a lot of habitat connectivity anymore.
A lot of our medicines, traditional plant medicines, come from our grasslands. And due to the way we've overgrazed, it's certain plant species have become harder to find, or almost we can't find them on our main reserve. We have to go elsewhere.
Well, grasslands are, not a lot of people know this, but they're a highly endangered ecosystem. And the grasslands themselves are a very important carbon sink. And so if we lose these grasslands, we're also going to be losing that carbon sequestration ability.
You know, we're here to take care of it. Not only have we been colonists, but we're doing that to the land and or our plants, birds, especially hawks. You see them flying. Like they don't find anything through a wheat field. So they got to go through miles and miles of wheat field for them to hit a pasture, and that's where they can find something. Because the more the land you give back, the more all of these animals have a chance. When I go out and people ask me to talk with them, like either in a classroom or out in the field, one of the things that I mentioned to them is about, when you go out on the land, it's not just grass. But when you start introducing them to things they can actually eat, they can use, that's where the interest comes in. Wouldn't it be sad if this was to disappear? And that's where I tell them that, this is what we got to do, because from when we're put here by the Creator, this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And the land, too, it's a living thing. When a lot of people, when they talk about warriors, there's a lot of components to being a warrior. We're still warriors today. But the main thing that was important to the warriors back then, that we were told by the chiefs, was you got to take care of the land. Because that takes care of the people. We knew our land. We knew every part of it. We knew what had to be burnt. We knew what had to be fixed. We knew what had to be left alone. So that's how we traveled all over the place to get the different things, for us to survive. And just within this small piece of land, there's a lot of things that it offers. I can go out and, can get my sage and whatever sweet grass I can collect, double root.
Our land base is quite big and our field staff is small, so we need the help of our membership to help us monitor and help us document the changes or the health of our ecosystems on our reserve. So invasive species of all types are slowly encroaching or have encroached on our reserve and are slowly taking over. We need to better watch what we're putting into the environment and taking from it, and we need to start giving a damn.
It's possible, like anything's possible if we have a transition period and a plan.
Our medicines, the way we pick, we just rip the roots out and over harvest.
And within that too, we have our responsibilities to take care of it, or we have our different, our seasons to collect and harvest. We have a certain period of time where we burn the grass to renew it. And that was also used to entice the buffalo to come back to a certain area.
We should be able to go back year after year to certain sweetgrass patches, but because people just pick and pick and pick our mint patches, and then they're gone once they're overpicked, and that root system or seed bank is not there, then we have to start managing, we have to start growing them and start planting them.
We need to adapt, because if we keep following our practices, like we're going to run out of our plants, and because these are the first things that are being affected from climate change. And so we can't just sit around and not do anything. It can't be idle anymore. We got to get up and do it. So this is what we're doing.
Sakomitabi is like key to our culture. It's what makes us unique. What ties us to this land is our connection to our grasslands, to our trees, to our water. And if it's not there, then our culture is going to have to adapt into a contemporary, which I don't see. So if we're more cognizant of what we're doing to the land and try to take a step back and be less hard on it, a smaller footprint, and just try to protect and save what we can and help our land. That's what we need to do, is help it, not take from it the way we've been.
Hey,